Adrian Newey's revelation that he had to completely rethink Aston Martin's aerodynamic philosophy due to a significant Honda engine integration issue is sparking intense debate and raising questions about the team's future direction. The controversy began when Adrian Newey disclosed during an interview with the Judge 13 that moving the leading edge of the underbody plank, T-tray, back by 300mm, was necessary because the original Honda power unit design didn't fit the intended chassis concept. This significant change, which required a fundamental shift in aerodynamic thinking, has led to speculation about whether Newey or Honda is more at fault for Aston Martin's poor performance this season. While Newey framed the situation as an unavoidable complication due to the engine fit issues, critics like Peter Windsor argue that the blame lies with Newey's initial design choices. This debate underscores a larger issue: how much of Aston Martin's underperformance can be attributed to the power unit and how much is down to chassis misalignment. Moreover, amidst this controversy, Honda announced an ambitious upgrade plan for their engine, set to debut at Zandvoort in August. Shintaro Orihara, Honda's trackside general manager and chief engineer, emphasized that this update could be a turning point for Aston Martin's 2026 season on circuits with long straights like Monza. However, the real-world impact of these upgrades remains uncertain, as sources within the paddock question whether the rumored power gains of 40-50 bpl and a potential lap time improvement of 4.8 seconds are realistic. This discrepancy adds another layer to the ongoing debate about Aston Martin's performance issues and their path forward. What will be the true outcome of this engine update, and how will it affect Aston Martin's prospects in the remaining races of 2026? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the team's challenges and potential solutions. As the mid-season period approached, Aston Martin's technical team continued to grapple with balancing short-term performance fixes against long-term strategic planning for 2027. The phased introduction of Honda's upgraded engine parts at tracks like Zandvoort and Monza was seen as a critical step towards improving reliability and competitiveness in power-sensitive circuits. According to Orihara, the findings from this season's data would inform future energy deployment strategies crucial for optimizing performance on high-speed layouts. Meanwhile, Adrian Newey acknowledged the challenges posed by integrating Honda's power unit into their chassis design during the 2026 reset. Despite these hurdles, he expressed optimism about Aston Martin's progress and the team's readiness to capitalize on regulatory changes in 2027. "The lessons learned this year will definitely pay off next season," Newey said confidently. However, some within the paddock questioned whether Honda or Newey should shoulder more responsibility for the AMR26's initial setbacks. This debate reflects broader concerns about the complexities introduced by simultaneous power unit and chassis regulations changes in 2026, a transition that has proven challenging for several teams beyond just Aston Martin. With multiple reports suggesting an imminent shift towards optimizing fuel efficiency and revising energy deployment rules for 2027, there is growing anticipation within the team. Newey's comments on the FIA's stance underscored the importance of navigating these regulatory changes effectively to avoid similar issues in future seasons. Sergio Perez, while not providing specific details about AMR27's development, acknowledged the team's focus on refining both engine and chassis synergies for next year. His input highlights the critical role of driver feedback in shaping technical decisions, a perspective often overlooked but essential for fine-tuning performance parameters. As Aston Martin prepares to unveil further upgrades at Zandvoort and beyond, observers will closely monitor whether these changes can significantly impact their race results this season. The team's efforts extend far beyond immediate fixes, with an emphasis on laying foundational elements that could elevate them in the competitive landscape of 2027. This strategic approach underscores a broader commitment to resilience and adaptability amidst evolving regulations. In addition to addressing current challenges, Aston Martin's planning also includes leveraging upcoming rule changes to their advantage. The FIA's decision not to intervene highlights the importance of self-reliance and innovation in navigating regulatory frameworks effectively. As teams continue to interpret these rules creatively, there is a sense that strategic foresight will be as crucial as technical prowess. With each upgrade cycle and regulatory shift, Aston Martin's leadership seeks to refine their approach, balancing immediate demands with long-term vision. The phased rollout of Honda's upgrades represents not just a tactical maneuver, but also an investment in the team's future trajectory. As they move forward, the focus remains on integrating advanced technologies seamlessly while adhering to stringent regulations. The upcoming races at Zandvoort and Monza will serve as key indicators of progress, offering insights into how well Aston Martin can adapt their performance strategies under evolving conditions. These events are pivotal not only for immediate race outcomes, but also for setting a precedent in managing technical challenges effectively through the remainder of 2026. In summary, while Aston Martin faces significant hurdles, there is palpable optimism within the team about leveraging ongoing developments to secure better results moving forward. The phased introduction of Honda's engine upgrades and strategic preparation for 2027 underline their commitment to overcoming current obstacles and positioning themselves competitively in an increasingly dynamic F1 landscape. As the F1 community grappled with conflicting narratives about Aston Martin's engine issues, Adrian Newey and Shintaro Orihara remained focused on addressing immediate concerns and planning for the future. The phased aerodynamic upgrades set to debut in Zandvoort promised incremental improvements, but also underscored a cautious approach by the team. Aerodynamics will play a significant role in our performance gains, explained Newey, emphasizing that while engine power is crucial, optimizing airflow and reducing drag would be equally important going forward. The car's ability to generate downforce without excessive turbulence is what sets championship-winning teams apart. Meanwhile, Orihara's emphasis on energy deployment during the Belgian Grand Prix hinted at a strategic shift in how Aston Martin was approaching its race strategies. He noted that learning from each circuit's unique demands would inform not only current race planning, but also future developments. "We're using this year to fine-tune our approach and lay down strong foundations for next season," Orihara clarified, speaking about the broader implications of their 2026 challenges on the AMR27 project. "The long-term vision is clear. We need to be competitive from day one in 2027. This forward-looking strategy was echoed by Newey's optimism regarding Aston Martin's progress towards the next set of regulations. He stressed that early decisions about engine placement, suspension design, and gearbox layout for AMR27 were essential to ensure a smoother transition into 2027. "Sergio Perez's comments on our preparations show that we're thinking ahead," Newey said, referencing the driver's input on ongoing development work. "His feedback is invaluable as we look to refine every aspect of the car." Critics like Peter Windsor, however, remained skeptical about attributing Aston Martin's early season struggles solely to Honda's engine issues. They pointed out that strategic missteps and design flaws also played a significant role in the team's performance. "We can't overlook the importance of holistic vehicle integration," Windsor argued. "The chassis needs to be tailored to complement the engine, not just fit around it." Despite the skepticism, Aston Martin's leadership maintained confidence in their approach. Newey acknowledged the challenges but emphasized that his team was learning and adapting rapidly. "The AMR27 is being designed with lessons from this year in mind," he stated. "We're taking nothing for granted and are determined to deliver a competitive car from day one next season." As the FIA's stance on potential assistance for Aston Martin revealed, regulatory bodies were not inclined to intervene despite Newey's public comments about Honda's difficulties. This further highlighted the importance of internal problem-solving within the team. "Adrian and his engineers have been working tirelessly to optimize every component," Orihara noted, emphasizing the collaborative effort between Aston Martin and Honda. "The support from both sides is crucial." With each passing race, Aston Martin's performance remained a key talking point in F1 circles. The phased engine upgrades planned for Zandvoort and beyond were seen as critical steps towards narrowing the gap with frontrunners. "Our focus remains on delivering tangible improvements," Orihara reiterated. "We're committed to showing steady progress throughout the rest of this season." As teams continued to analyze potential advantages in 2027's regulations, Aston Martin's early work on AMR27 set them apart from competitors still grappling with immediate challenges. "The groundwork we lay now will pay dividends next year," Newey asserted. "We're positioning ourselves for long-term success." This strategic foresight was not lost on the broader F1 community, who watched closely as Aston Martin navigated its current and future challenges. With a mix of skepticism and optimism, many in the paddock awaited the results of their phased approach to see if it would yield the anticipated benefits. "We have our work cut out for us," Newey concluded, acknowledging the road ahead while maintaining an unwavering commitment to progress. "But we're ready for the challenge." As the mid-season approaches its halfway point, attention shifts towards Aston Martin's performance improvements at upcoming tracks like Zandvoort and Monza, where the upgraded Honda engine could make a significant impact. The team's strategic planning for 2027 also comes into focus, highlighting their efforts to stay ahead of regulatory changes and ensure better coordination between engine and chassis development. The phased rollout of aerodynamic upgrades is another critical aspect of Aston Martin's strategy. Adrian Newey's comments about further steps at Zandvoort, Monza, and Baku suggest a deliberate approach to maximizing the team's performance gains throughout the remainder of the 2026 season. These planned updates are expected to address specific track characteristics that challenge the AMR26 design. Despite ongoing debates over responsibility for Aston Martin's initial struggles with the Honda engine, both Newey and Orihara emphasize collaboration and mutual commitment towards overcoming these challenges. The team's leadership remains optimistic about leveraging this year's lessons into a stronger position next season. Peter Windsor's critique of Newey's comments provides an intriguing subplot in the ongoing narrative, questioning whether the design constraints were more due to chassis-engine mismatch or broader regulatory uncertainties. The FIA's reluctance to intervene further underscores the competitive nature of Formula One and the importance teams place on self-sufficiency and resilience in the face of technical challenges. This stance reinforces the idea that Aston Martin must rely on their own engineering prowess to navigate through this complex period successfully. Looking ahead, the AMR27 development is set against a backdrop of anticipated regulatory shifts that promise both opportunities and challenges for the team. The additional fuel allowance and revised energy deployment rules hint at potential areas where Aston Martin can optimize performance and close gaps with leading competitors. The Hungarian Grand Prix provided an initial glimpse into how these developments might unfold, with the first public shakedown of the upgraded Honda engine drawing considerable attention. This testing phase marks a crucial moment for Aston Martin as they push towards a turnaround in their fortunes. In essence, while 2026 has presented significant hurdles for Aston Martin, the team's proactive approach to both immediate and long-term challenges positions them well for future success. The interplay between current performance improvements and strategic planning for the upcoming season underscores a coherent strategy aimed at reclaiming lost ground and emerging stronger from this transition period. Recalling the initial optimism surrounding Aston Martin's partnership with Honda, it is evident that overcoming these present obstacles will be vital to realizing the long-term vision shared by both parties. The team's resilience in the face of current challenges reflects their commitment to a sustained presence in Formula One and sets the stage for what could be a pivotal shift in their competitive landscape. As Aston Martin continues to innovate and adapt, the coming races will serve as critical milestones in measuring their progress towards these ambitious goals. With each update and adjustment, the team inches closer to translating this season's hard-earned lessons into tangible success on the track next year.